I'm not being crazy. I'm saying a fact. I'm saying we don't know. And until we do know, it's not a very nice thing to say, is it?
Okay.
So fucking stop!
Connor's Wedding, the third episode in Succession's final season, has the biggest surprise twist of the entire series that no one saw coming. That is, unless you're a fan of Shakespeare. The allusions to Shakespeare's work in Succession have already been well documented. Quotes and references are often given by the characters.
Would you like to hear my favorite passage from Shakespeare? Take the money.
The use of the fool archetype, usually played by Roman, to add levity but also speak truths.
Do you have a fetish for nearly killing Dad? Like, just the tip, but for, like, killing Dad?
I mean, the entire premise of Succession closely resembles King Lear, a tragedy about an aging king preparing to divide his power and land between his children. But another Shakespeareism found in Succession is his use of weddings and death. Shakespeare famously ended his comedies with a wedding and his tragedies with a death, and lots of it. In his comedies, Shakespeare often utilized the plot device of a wedding to create a sense of resolution and closure. One example of this can be seen in his play A Midsummer Night's Dream, in which the characters marry at the end of the play, signaling the end of the chaos and confusion that had been present throughout the plot. The wedding serves as a way to bring the characters together and establish a sense of harmony. As stated by David Bevington in his book, Shakespeare, The 7 Ages of Human Experience. In many comedies, the union of the lovers, or the resolution of the plot, is symbolized by a marriage ceremony. In the first season finale, Nobody Is Ever Missing, Shiv marries Tom in this elaborate ceremony at Eastnor Castle in Scotland. I mean, the comparisons of Tom and Shiv to Lord and Lady Macbeth deserves its own video, but that'll have to be another day. The next wedding takes place in the third season finale, All the Bells Say, where the Roy kids' mother, Lady Caroline Collingwood, gets married at a luxurious villa in Tuscany. It's also here that Connor proposes to his escort-turned-girlfriend Willa in a vain attempt to further secure his standing as a presidential candidate. And finally, we get to last week's episode, The Red Wedding. Connor's Wedding.
I don't know. My father's dead and I feel old.
Despite the tumultuous plot decision that I'll talk about in just a second, this episode closes with Connor and Willa deciding to go through with the wedding, committing to one another in the simplest ceremony yet, attended by only a few people and none of Connor's family. In his tragedies, Shakespeare often employs the use of death to create a sense of loss and despair. This can be seen in Romeo and Juliet, where the play ends with the tragic deaths of the young lovers.
All are punished. All are punished!
This use of death also serves to emphasize the finality of the play and create a sense of closure. For example, the ending to Hamlet is this poisonous bloodbath with basically everyone dying. As stated by Anne Barton in her book Shakespeare and the Idea of the Play, Shakespeare's tragedies are works of art in which an ending is achieved through the death of the characters. In the season 1 episode Nobody Is Ever Missing, Kendall asks a caterer to take him to purchase drugs and insists on driving in an already altered state of mind.
Okay, I don't know if I should drive right away.
No, I can drive.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
This ends with Kendall driving off a bridge and crashing into a lake, causing the caterer to drown while Kendall crawls away. Then in the season 3 episode All the Bells Say, Kendall comes clean to his siblings about accidentally killing the caterer in season 1, and the three of them then plan to use a stipulation in their parents' divorce settlement that allows them to vote to kill any change in company's leadership in the hopes of stopping their father.
How do we feel about killing Dad? Mixed feelings?
Pass me the shotgun.
And finally, in the season 4 episode Connor's Wedding, we have perhaps the most talked about death on TV in years. Collapsing in the bathroom while on a private jet to Sweden, instead of attending his eldest son's wedding, Logan Roy dies while his children struggle to process this and say goodbye over the phone to his unresponsive body.
I can't forgive you.
I love you. God, I don't.
Oh, man. He never even liked me.
He has gone. I think he has died.
Well, okay, but you don't know that.
Do you notice a pattern here? For every wedding episode that signals a resolution to that story arc, Succession also includes a death to alter the tone just enough to signal to the audience that the bigger story is far from over. Succession isn't just a comedy or a tragedy, it's both. What makes the most recent episode stand out, though, is how Succession breaks from its usual pattern in order to defy audience expectations. Here, the wedding and death is placed near the beginning of the season, only 3 episodes in. And that's why the story twist worked so well. No one was expecting it. But it also makes sense. With this decision, the Succession writers have signaled a new chapter that will allow the story to build to its climax and eventual resolution. The Roy kids, along with all the other contenders to the throne, will finally have to prove that they are serious people while the chaos in this power vacuum builds. No more vying for Logan's attention, no more obsessing over Logan's current favoritism, no more cheating, scheming, and plotting to circumvent Logan's next move. Everyone's on their own now, whether or not they can truly handle it. Logan's death is the beginning of the end, and all the pieces are scattered on the board ready to attack. Perfect for a final season. This video is sponsored by my podcast of Mice and Men and Monsters, where Dungeons and Dragons elements are dropped into the worlds of classic novels you either love or completely avoided while in school. The Dungeon Master is a high school English teacher who guides us through these familiar worlds and familiar characters. So far, we've played through books like Frankenstein, Moby Dick, Robin Hood, The Great Gatsby, Macbeth, and Oliver Twist, and we're only just getting started. The popular site Gizmodo included us on a list of 6 Dungeons & Dragons actual plays that are easy to start listening to, and Yahoo just recently had us on their list of 11 Dungeons & Dragons podcasts that roll a natural 20. If you like D&D, games, comedy, literature, or just a couple of friends acting like idiots and having a good time, then please click over and listen to episode 1 here on YouTube. I'll have it linked below. And you can listen to the rest of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I also really hope you're enjoying the final season of Succession. It's incredible so far, and I just can't wait to see how everything shakes out. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you're subscribed below, and also click that bell below so that way you're notified whenever Entertain the Elk drops a new video. I have a new video coming out actually in just a few days. So perfect time to remind yourself to subscribe and also click that bell. That way you'll be notified. Shout out to all my patrons out there who are supporting the channel. Thank you so much for your support. It really means the world. If you want to become a patron, click the link below. Patrons get exclusive content, behind the scenes info, early releases, exclusive perks, things like that just as a thank you. And it really goes a long way to help just support the channel and to help me make more videos. And yeah, just another quick reminder that if you like Shakespeare or classic literature and Dungeons and Dragons, then please do go check out my podcast of Mice and Men and Monsters. I have a couple episodes up on YouTube that you can click over and check out. But obviously, wherever you listen to podcasts, that's where you'll find all the other 80, 90, 100 episodes. Check it out and let me know what you think. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.